Yes, it's me. I'm alive.
I live!
So I decided to come on here, kind of go over the many, I'm gonna say years now that I haven't posted anything, and kind of just go over what's been going on with my life and what I intend on doing with this channel in the future. If you heard that, that's my dog. That's one of the things that's happened. I adopted a dog. His name is Ace. Now he's kind of looking at me like I'm crazy. Am I boring you? Is that what this is? I think you guys can see him. Say hi. Oh, okay. Okay. Ace is 5 years, 7 months, and he's a pit bull mix. I love pit bulls. He's my first dog that I've ever really owned by myself. I've always wanted a pit bull. He's adorable. He's a diva, but he's a good dog. I've moved since those videos. I know my channel's been up since 2014. That was when I was in high school. And this past Sunday, the 29th, I had my 24th birthday.
You're so...
Don't say it! You don't have to say that word. I mean it!
Yeah, you guys know how old I am. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm 24 years old now, and a lot has happened in those 5 years. Like I said, I moved. Before I was living in Hawaii. I know, crazy. And now I live in South Dakota. Other things that have been going on are things like with my voice. Obviously, what I was doing was more voice acting type stuff. I was voicing the characters of my candy love, and I can no longer afford to do that. At least not right now. My voice has been going through a lot of trauma. I don't know why. I have a lot of nasal inflammation that's been going on for months, if not years. And my voice is becoming affected. I don't know if you can hear some raspiness to it, but surely stuff that I was doing in the past probably had something to do with it, but if you can't tell, I wear my hair up always. it's long. I can't afford to do it, or I probably wouldn't do it as well as I used to. So that's one of the main reasons why. Another reason is obviously I'm now an adult. Back in 2014, I was in high school. I had always had time on my hands. Now I don't. I work 5 days a week, 7 to 4, and I just don't have the time anymore. And the My Candy Love videos took a lot of time to edit and put together, because I would play through the episode first, and then I would edit it, kind of clip it together, and then put in the voicing. And that always took a lot of tries, because I had to edit, because it was essentially screenshots. I had to take a screenshot of that particular scene and then kind of copy paste it into a ton of sections, and then make it kind of go along that entire section. And I would have to fit my recording into that time slot, otherwise it would change to the next scene. And that, yeah, it took a long time. And of course, I have to rest, and because my voice will eventually get tired, so it always took a lot of time. Another thing that was kind of a big struggle lately, mainly in the past year. This is going to be a little hard to talk about, but I feel like it could help people out there. I've been going through some struggles with depression. I know that it's a taboo subject, but I feel like we need to talk about it more because it impacts a lot more people than people realize. It's one of the reasons why I got my dog. He's been helping me a lot, as much of a pain as he can be. I love him to death, and he's definitely helped me. I get outside a lot more. Before, I wouldn't even get out of bed until at least 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would have woken up at 8 that morning, and I just didn't want to do anything. My apartment would be a mess, and it would just be awful. And he's really helping me. I'm slowly but surely recovering. I am going to a therapist and all of that, but I feel like that's important to bring up as to one of the reasons why I hadn't been doing anything. I just haven't been enjoying my hobbies anymore, and that's big. That's when you know you have a problem, when even the things you enjoy, you don't enjoy doing anymore. But like I said, I'm slowly but surely getting better. There's still a couple little hiccups here and there, but I'm definitely learning how to manage it. I'm definitely becoming a lot happier now. I'm gonna stop talking about that before I start crying, because that's one of the things that happens. I cry a lot, and that is perfectly okay. If anyone tells you that stop being a baby or grow up or whatever, then they're toxic and you need to get them out of your life immediately. Crying is a part of life. Me, on the other hand, I cry at the drop of a hat. So, but cry in moderation is what I'm trying to say. In terms of my videos on my candy love, I'm probably not gonna do them anymore. At least not in the realm that I was doing them in the extent, unless I find a means of making recording a lot easier, because I was strictly doing it from my phone, which was complicated. And if you've seen my chatty loves, you have seen that the app that I was using would update and it would delete all my hard work and I would have to start over. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't know if I am able to continue with my Candy Love walkthroughs at this time, especially since I haven't played my Candy Love in a long time. For those of you who don't play the game and kind of just watched me kind of bring this world to life, I would say. There's a lot that has happened in my Candy Love. It is currently on its 3rd rendition, called My Candy Love Love Life. So there was My Candy Love, the 1st edition, which was the high school life. Then there was the 2nd rendition, My Candy Love University Life, which takes place like 3 years after the events of high school life. And then now they just recently came out with Love Life, which it's currently on its 3rd episode right now. So it just started. Though with the whole new university life after My Candy Love high school life ended, it ended on after 40 episodes. They went through graduation and all that stuff, and it was great. And it ended really well. I thought it was good. Then University Life came out, because of course people didn't want the game to end. They're like, oh no, please keep going, keep doing stuff. And they brought up University Life. And the amount of controversy that happened when University Life came out was outrageous. They did a lot of changes to the game, some good, and a lot of people said that the other changes were bad. One of the changes was they made it more animated, so the characters actually move and talk. Like, you actually see them opening their mouths to talk, and they have actual expressions and all of that, instead of just being still pictures. They can still do that if your computer's lagging too much because of the movement, you can turn it off. But overall, there's the movement and stuff, and I feel like that makes it a lot more alive, which I thought it was actually a really good thing. but a lot of things came across as very controversial and were hated upon and are still being hated upon to this day, even though it's been like over a year since they've updated this stuff. One of the things was the love interests. So you, Lysander, Armin, and Kenton, all three of them are no longer available on University Life. They were replaced with 2 new people and 1 repeat character, but was not a dating option at the time. And the new people are a young man named Yun. He is your coworker at the cafe that you used to go to in high school life. He actually ended up working there, and he's your coworker. And then your art history professor, Professor Rayan. Yeah, Rayan. I forgot his last name. Yeah, but Rayan is his first name, and he's a love interest. He's 10 years older than your character. Your character's 23 in the game at that time, and he's 33. They actually said that in one of the episodes. So he's a lot older. He's your professor of your major, of all things. Your character decides to pursue art history, and you could end up dating him. The reoccurring character that, which I actually applauded because I thought it was pretty cool. I personally wouldn't make that choice because that's not something I see for myself, but I applauded the choice because I'm a full supporter of that kind of stuff. A dating option was added for Priya, the new girl from high school. So she became a dating option, so that way for those who would prefer to date a girl, she became an option. And then Castiel and Nathaniel are both reoccurring options. More than likely, they made this choice because they were the 2 most popular. They were probably the heads of the franchise. I mean, good boy, bad boy kind of thing. I can see it. Castiel is now the lead singer and guitarist for his band named Crowstorm. They're growing in popularity. They go on tour, and he goes to school at the university part-time. So that's kind of where he's at. And Nathaniel, surprisingly enough, had the biggest change, which was another set of controversy. He became a rebel, essentially. He was emancipated from his parents. As you see in high school life, he was liberated. He gained his emancipation, and he, in order to get the money that his parents had set aside for him for college, he agreed to go to college, but he doesn't really focus on studying anymore. He kind of just does what he wants. He has piercings. He has a cut on his lip. He boxes. He works out by boxing, which is actually canon to the manga. Just a little tidbit there. So he did it a little bit in high school, but was really into it in university. So he kind of became this bad boy. I know why he changed his image, and honestly, I will tell you, because I did go after him whilst playing University Life. I did still want to be with Nathaniel, because I'm like, people don't just completely 180. And I found out that I was right. He did still have some of that true Nathaniel, and the Love Life saga actually proved that he can still be the Nathaniel that you once knew, because he apparently became a police officer recruit kind of deal. So that's what the job he pursued. It has to do also with his story arc in University Life, which I'm not gonna talk about. If you want to play it, you can. But that's kind of like, it goes along with the arc. Amber came back. She goes to school there part-time as well. She's nice. That was mind-blowing. But she's nice. She's a model. And they actually used her character to kind of go over an issue that you probably would expect to come with a model. Unfortunately, it's a stereotype, but it definitely kind of goes along with who Amber is. She was mean and she just wanted to be kind of this model. She wanted to follow in her mother's footsteps, but then as she got older, she realized that she shouldn't be mean, but she ended up kind of, I guess, internalizing that and ended up developing anorexia. That's kind of her arc, but it's kind of quick. I kind of stopped playing, so I don't know like what happened after that. I don't know what happens towards the end. I haven't played past that, but I do hope she got better. Because that's a terrible thing to go through. You shouldn't have to feel like you need to alter yourself for anyone, any job, and anything really. Yeah, that's essentially where my candy love is currently right now, at least where I left it off. And in terms of like other controversy, one of the biggest ones that is still happening now is the AP system. So the action points, which is what you spend to get your, like, to actually make the moves and progress in the game. They altered that to make it, instead of every move of a location charging you 2 AP points, it's now every dialogue. So every time your character speaks, it burns it, and every time you select an option and all of that. So that's what burns it, and whereas you move around, it's free. I get that for looking for your auntie when you want the secret stuff. I mean, you can move around everywhere and you can just find her. I get that. In terms of the 2 AP burning for your dialogue, that upset a lot of people. And people were like, no, you need to put it back the way it was, even though people were kind of complaining how it was in the first place. So it didn't really make much sense to me. My view on what was happening, they're a business, they're a game. They can run it however they please. They have people pleased in the past, and people pleasing is not a good thing. People are like, oh, well, you're a business, you need to cater to the people, especially a video game company. And it's like, I get that to an extent, but these are also artists. These are like, it's like going up to someone who painted something, like it took them a week to complete it, and then you tell them, no, you should have made this part red because I like it better red. That'll devastate them, and they're not going to listen to you, but that's going to make them feel like crap. So it's the same kind of thing. This is their baby, this is their project, this is what they foresee for their company. And if and the fact that it's made it to having love life now, like having the three sagas, shows that it's successful, that their choice has been successful enough to justify it, where they don't need to change it. If they saw a huge plummet in their sales, then I'm sure they would have changed it back. And people still complain about it to this day, thinking that if they scream enough and kick off enough, that it'll make a change, which some things it will. Like, one thing that fans did get changed was Nathaniel's new look in high school life after he was emancipated and all that. He got his redesign, and he got that blue teal shirt and all that stuff. It had a different design. Before, it was kind of like a turtleneck kind of thing. It came up to here, and it had this kind of like armor feathered looking shoulder. I didn't mind it. I actually really liked it, but other people hated the design, and they criticized it to the point where the artists changed it. And I feel like that's like cruel in a way, because one thing that I love doing is drawing and art and stuff, and people criticized something that I put my heart and soul into, that I planned and put out to the public hoping to get a good response, and then it ended up not getting a good response. Like, I'd be pretty upset. Like, that would hurt my ego. And not to say that I need my ego massaged or anything, or that they need their ego massaged, but like, this is this is their vision. It's like someone painting something or putting something out. Like, it's it's their baby. So that's what they foresee, and that's what their vision is. It's a perfect example. If you've ever seen Wizards of Waverly Place, there was that one episode where Alex had painted a mural in that old abandoned subway station. And that was what she wanted to paint in the school as the mural, but she didn't think anyone was going to like it. So she used the Eye of the Beholder spell to please everybody. Everybody loved it and all that stuff, but her brother didn't think it was right because the person who mattered wasn't happy, and that was Alex. So he ended up putting her mural up there with the spell, even though it was kind of just taking a whole chunk of concrete and putting it up on the wall. He put it up there, and she ended up being very, very happy about it. And I think that's kind of what's going on with that. And I feel like people don't need to be people pleasers. They don't have to please you. They don't have to make you happy. When it comes to art, they're going to make whatever's the best choice that they believe in their mind. And if they see that it did fail in other aspects, not just because people were criticizing them, then they can make alterations from there. But overall, they did a lot of things even then to appease people. They had put caps on how much free AP, or like how much AP you can have. Like, they put, like, you can only have up to 3,000 AP ever, like, in your bank. That was your cap. And people were complaining about that. They raised it to 5,000, and then they eventually took it off. So they've made changes. It's just this was one that they were not going to budge on. And I feel like people don't need to trash talk an entire game just because of that one aspect. If the game itself is still the same, I mean, like, you still pick a person that you're gonna crush on, you go through the story, you try to woo the person that you have a crush on, and you try to get together with them. It's all still the same. And if that's what you love and you're a fan of the game itself, then that should be the reason why you keep playing, not because AP is being taken a different way. People were complaining before about how much free AP you get. If they were giving out 100 free AP, they wouldn't be making money. Unfortunately, it comes down to the fact that they're artists and they're a business. They need to make money. This is how they make their money. So to sit there and be like, well, I deserve more free AP, you probably shouldn't be playing the game then. That's just my personal opinion. And I brought up a lot of the stuff about about Baaaack, which is the creator of My Candy Love, of them being a business and all of that stuff. I kind of sympathize with that because I actually want to be a game artist when I graduate college and all of that stuff. That's what I want to do. That's my dream. So I can kind of relate to that. I can understand where they're coming from, which brings me to another kind of dream that I have. I kind of wanted to change the perspective of gaming, and that's kind of where the direction that I wanted to go with this channel. I want to use it as a means of getting people who perceive gaming in a certain way, like, oh, it's for nerds, I don't have time for it, there's probably nothing that I don't like shooting people in games, like all that stuff. I kind of wanted to provide a perspective that can kind of help people realize that there's a game out there for everybody. You don't have to be a full-on like gamer. Like you don't have to have a whole room dedicated to it. You don't have to have a special chair, a special headset, a special setup. You don't have to have any of that. Even I don't have that. I just have my laptop plugged to my TV. That's it. Just so I have a bigger screen, and I just sit on my couch. That's all I have. So people have this whole shebang going on, and I'm like, I'll keep my money to just buy more games, thanks. That's kind of the direction where I want to go. I kind of want to show people what kind of games are out there, something that might interest them, kind of go through some of my personal favorites, and kind of talk about different, just the different kinds of subjects and means of gaming out there. Because there's not all just the Halo, there's not just Call of Duty, there's not just Grand Theft Auto, there's not just those kinds of games. If you don't want to play those games, you don't have to, because there's plenty of other games out there. Like Animal Crossing just came out. Animal Crossing, oh my gosh, if you had a long day at work, just play some Animal Crossing. It is the most soothing thing ever. Maybe not this current one, because apparently there's a lot more labor involved, but like New Leaf or City Folk or some of the older ones. I have New Leaf. That's like ASMR in a video game. It's soothing. It's just some calm. You're just going around fishing, catching some bugs, selling some stuff, paying off your mortgage. But you know, it's soothing. It's a calm game. You talk to your animal friends, like, you know, just some calming stuff. There's some good things out there, and if you're someone who kind of likes the idea of cooking or crafting, there's Cooking and Crafting Mama. You can do that. There's if you like things with a story and you kind of just want to role play, there's, oh my goodness, there's so many RPGs, which are role-playing games. Pokemon, there's one that I play on my PC, Aura Kingdom. There's if you want like more like magical, mystical stuff, this one was more so portrayed for children, but a lot of older gamers that have been with the game since the beginning. There's Wizard 101. I myself played it because I've been a player for years, so it's kind of the nostalgia aspect for me. There's just so many games out there that's what I kind of want to project out there. I kind of want to put games out there to give people options, so that way they don't feel the need to discount gaming because they're like, well, I don't want to see blood or shoot some guy's head off. Like, ew, that's gross. Or they're like, oh, I don't like meeting people in person. Why do I want to meet people on the multiverse of like you know what I mean? Like those kind of real world type games that kind of interact worldwide. Like some people, not everybody wants that. So it's like I want to be able to kind of put out different games. So that's kind of what I foresee for my channel. I already have a couple of ideas in mind to have some games that I play on a regular basis that I'm gonna record and kind of go through and do walkthroughs and all of that stuff to kind of talk about them. And yeah, that's kind of it. And that's kind of like the main focus I wanted to go through with my stuff. Other things, if you guys are like, hey, what's this or that, I know people probably would ask about my hair and be like, hey, how do you get your hair so long? I'll talk about that if that's what you want. I wouldn't recommend asking me about makeup because this took a whole 2 hours to do and I don't got that kind of patience all the time. But yeah, just whatever you guys want to see, but that's gonna be my main focus, is my love of gaming. Yeah, so see you guys next time.
Rebooting. Initiating trailer sequence.